Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LCK Spring 2025.
While UCal is still extremely healthy, as well as mana healthy, means that UCal could potentially look to do this again. Now, here comes Owner and Carrier.
I think UCal may need to use some abilities. He flashes, Sponge is here, but UCal is really dead. That is going to be first blood going over to Owner. And just a little greedy is good old through her paces as much as he can. Doran has got the equalizer though, right as these grubs are spawning, but he's in the bottom lane without teleport, so never mind. That's not going to really pay too much of a difference here, as Owner now in trouble. On the level 5, as Sponge goes untargetable, but Owner's very targetable. It's UCal that grabs that kill here as Carrier has to get out of there, but now the Drake has been started.
It's just so tough without the Aurora ult to make a fight happen here.
Yeah. Doran now Sponge throwing some daggers around. Doran was on the mind because he's in the top lane without equalizer available, so won't be able to affect this fight here, as UCal once again softening up Carry. He's only level 4, as that's a steal from Sponge. And Owner now trying to get out of there, but I don't know whether he's going to be able to. They just close the gap on that Crescent Guard as Faker looks for the Emperor's Divide. He gets it. Sponge goes untargetable, flashes from Carrier, and Carrier will be taken down. It's Andal that gets the kill, but now he's right on top of this teleport. The curtains, they've been called, doesn't land onto Sponge for the last bullet. Doran might actually get there in time. Oh, it's a bit of an unfortunate situation for grubs now, for DRX as well.
Yeah, they get Dragon, they're looking for more.
Well, Carrier only level 5 here, and Sponge still trying to keep it interesting, but T1 should be able to get 2 of them. Good untargetable there as Andal. He's got other things on his mind. Shattering Strike comes down as Doran uses a very defensive ultimate. UCal still doing a lot of damage though, as we can see, as Sponge is just bouncing around the rift. Another teleport to come in, this time from Faker. And Rich has followed suit, looking for an angle here as this scuffle will continue. Faker bleeding for now, but it's Andal that's the target, and he will be taken down immediately. It's traded though as Owner. That's a phenomenal ult, but I think he's still dead. The bleed is ticking, and he's still going to be taken out. That is a UCal with a double. And this Aurora is going to be mega fed this game.
I remember, too, at the beginning of the fight.
Oh, UCal's going to basically be behind Faker.
Look at UCal's gold lead.
Yeah.
At even CS, so 3 kills now, first brick.
And full local gold for first brick. There it goes.
Yeah. Now, for the moment, though, T1 in a really nice position. Carrier blocking the entry here.
I've seen this one before. Sponge looking for another heist angle. He is in the pit. Owner is going to spot him out. These daggers are not connecting. Rich on that flank angle, but he's on that ward. And headbutt out. No Magnet Storm for you, Andal. Still Carrier taking a lot of damage. That is going to be the Drake going over to Owner. Somehow that Shock Blast is actually going to miss. That's going to force Rich to flash away. Some decent damage here from the Between Worlds, but the answering Deadly Flourish is too good. And there is the shutdown. Straight over to the GOAT as T1. They'll take the Drake and a whole bunch more.
That was definitely a UCal moment. Just push on dog, because if that ends up being a big Magnet Storm, maybe they can follow up on that UCal ults that group instead of ulting here. And I think at this point, the fight is clearly over.
Well, there's an Emperor's Divide. Rich cannot go to the skies because he's been to the skies recently. UCal is going to come down and see what he can do here as Doran is dead. Faker is under the turret, sets up his own, but I think UCal will have enough damage to finish this off. It's going to take a bit of time as he flashes as well. Finally, the auto comes in, and that's a double kill for the guy that just died. I think that's pretty good reparation.
Front line of the Xinjiao. He's got the Azir to peel for him and Alistair to peel for him. He's got Zeke's as well online. Looks like Rich is going to finally take this turret down. Well, he doesn't commit to it. They have some river vision. I think he certainly can commit to it.
Yeah, he's pinging, and Andal is going to get headbutt pulp. Will need to get out of here, I think, and does do so. T1 will let him live for the minute. Speaking of letting things live, Rich is going to not let the turret live. We'll take that one down. The rest of T1 a little bit slow in the rotation, won't be able to stop the Jace after he does manage to do that. So just a little bit more money going over to DRX on the back of that play.
Pretty interesting build here from Rich as well with the Shojin first.
Way out. So ultimately it is just the same result.
It's a flash taken away from Andal, which is pretty big for Aurel. So that's a trade up, I would say, for T1, but it's not enough to secure them this topside turret necessarily because they just don't have push up there.
Minute and a half on the Chemtech Drake. But there is also a Baron coming up. This is UCal. Oh, there's another headbutt ball. Carrier really wanted to pick up player of the match today, and I'll give it to him. That's going to be Owner taking down the kill off the back of the cow.
It's just on a ward there, and now they can get whatever they want. They want Herald, they want Otacon, they want this top turret. They're going to start with Otacon, which is a bit of a scary choice.
Flanking. Carrier coming in, looking for it again. As Sponge going untargetable. Rich with some shock blast angles potentially. That equalizer, great spot, but Faker just wipes them off it. Andal trying to stay alive, and he will fail.
Teddy coming up here. Rich has this turret to play through.
Oh, God. Well, can the shock blast actually land? That's the question. The answer is no, because he's going to be dead. Carrier diving in one more time, and the doggo's on the ground. Teddy, another one of these doggos, is going to be in a bit of trouble as Carrier is down to 1 health, but he is still able to walk his way out. The flash comes in from Teddy, and that should still keep him alive. Okay, Yukal's flashing forward, does manage to take down the jungler. That might mean that Otacon is going to be okay. Deadly Flourish coming on in here as the 1-2 punch, and it's a double! Teddy, I don't know about that one though. The captive audience goes off, and I think Teddy knew that he was dead. Guma just comes on over and punishes. Andal's back up one more time.
Kill Doran, which stops any potential Otacon take, but Teddy does give his life for it, and we reset.
Well, Andal crashing forward, and the curtains, they have been called. Andal, I mean, he's just dead. Sand Soldiers will take him down. Sponge a little bit late on that untargetability, but it might be enough to get himself out of there.
I mean, the fact that T1 has so much vision control over this river right now means that DRX feel compelled to kind of keep trickling in and checking and trying to find some information. There's so many objectives to take.
Oh, the Baron.
Oh, it's a T1 Baron. It's 27 minutes in, but it feels a little bit early.
Well, Guma is trying to follow up on the engage there from Carrier as Teddy gets over this wall, I believe unbeknownst, as he's now spotted.
Yukal is still big.
Oh, okay. Carrier is going to try and get in there. Sponge going untargetable. Emperor's Divide is going to throw Yukal in. He pops on over as Carrier likely to go down, but I think that's a decent trade. They've taken down the jungler as well. Not sure what Teddy was doing. And now Owner is going to be able to transition this into a Baron. Somehow it worked. I have no idea how that all sort of worked into itself, but it's, I mean, T1, I guess, calculated.
I mean, their DRX fell right into their trap, and what looked like a fairly risky Baron really wasn't with the control they had, and I mean, I don't know if they might just win the game off this.
Well, Ono once again going in, gets the knock up, and down goes the doggo. The curtains have been called, and it may just be curtains on this game. Faker picking up a kill to start this one off. Carrier tanking as much as he would like. Remember, they have the withdraws at the same time, as Guma not quite able to land that one, but he flashes forward, and that should finish off the kill onto Rich. Doran realizing that a whole bunch of his buddies are no longer here. Ono not going to actually get recalled because he did have a GA. He's got 3 items. This Xin Zhao is so incredibly large. They take the inner turret, and they're going to break open the base.
Yeah, Doran's just looking to grab an inhibitor on his way. Dead dog.
Oh, man.
And I guess all dogs go to heaven, but T1 is looking to send them there again. I mean, look, with the withdraws that they have, there's like no loss here. There's no reason not to go in. And that they did. Now they're almost 10,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, this is all of a sudden an extraordinary blowout. And it all happened off the back end of that Otacon Baron play. T1 just controlling the map so well. And Faker now looking for an opportunity onto Yukal. Deadly Flourish connecting somehow. I didn't even see that. Double Pulverize comes through from Carrier. The layering of the equalizer is not quite enough, but that doesn't matter. I don't know about the ulti there from Yukal, but I think he was just really scared. And who would blame him as T1 are bearing down on the base of DRX. It was a decent try. The early game was okay. Yukal kind of got fed, and then it mattered about 0.
T1 are just so good at playing the map, so good at playing around vision. Their coordination is matched by very few teams in the world as Teddy is trying to hold the wave. He's dead.
I mean, he might actually kill both of them. Doran comes in with a scrap shield, so he's not going to die, as Faker was almost bleeding to death, but he's got some honey fruit here.
And I mean, when you look at how this game really turned on its head, it's just a few mistakes from DRX, and T1 is a team that
is looking real good. Has augmented those first couple of items that felt underwhelming with an Infinity Edge and a Lord Dom, so he's doing plenty of damage now. Doran might need to be a little bit careful, I guess, but maybe he also doesn't, as Ona goes in, almost 3 taps. Sponge gets in another couple, and Faker is the one that actually finishes it off in the end. Equalizer just to celebrate, as Carrier looking for a bit of an angle here. He'll be able to get there, and my God, the damage of this Xin Zhao is obscene. And it's actually Gumayushi that finishes off a bunch of these kills. Doran, maybe move a little bit further out so you don't die to the Nexus turrets, but it doesn't matter. It's an ace. That's going to be the Nexus going down, and T1 in their first game looking pretty good.
There were some stumbles early on.